Starts and sits, early season trades to make, and some exclusive trash talk from Roddy White. This is week 2 of Keepers. What's up, fantasy friends? I'm Matt Ufford, and this is Keepers. Week 2 in the NFL season is murder because we only have one game to judge players on. It's a little too easy to make snap judgments that look stupid in the long run. When setting your lineups, I strongly recommend exercising some patience with any stars you have who might have had a disappointing week 1. Except Tom Brady. That dude's cooked. Start Sean Green. 15 carries for 71 yards against the Chiefs in week 1 isn't gonna win you your league title, but it's a sign that the Titans O-line was getting the job done against a good D-line. That bodes very well for a game against Dallas, which, well, let's just go ahead and pencil in start any running back against the Cowboys this season. Sit Ryan Tannehill. He's been dreadful in his 2 career starts in Buffalo, totaling 24 completions in 55 attempts for 223 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Not a good trend for a young quarterback who still hasn't mastered a new offense. Start T.Y. Hilton. Don't be turned off by a disappointing week 1. He got 11 targets against the Broncos, and he'll be able to do a lot more with that kind of attention against the Eagles. The Phillies secondary couldn't handle the Chad Henne to Allen Hurns connection. I think you can expect some fantasy points from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. Seriously, if this Monday night game isn't a shootout, I'm marching straight over to NFL headquarters and demanding my money back. Sit Victor Cruz. The Giants' new West Coast offense isn't so much a successor to Bill Walsh's scheme as it is a reference to the catastrophic drought in California. Here's a fun fact. In week 1, the Giants' entire wide receiver core combined for 50 receiving yards despite playing catch-up for most of the night. Lions defenders caught as many Eli Manning passes as Victor Cruz. Oh, and he's going up against Patrick Peterson this week. No thanks. Start Justin Hunter. He specializes in plays of 20-plus yards, and the Cowboys secondary specializes in broken coverage. Expect Hunter to get behind the defense for a couple big pass plays. Sit Antonio Gates. I hope you took the under on Antonio Gates' plays through a nagging injury because he was already nursing his hamstring in week 1. Mike McCoy should probably just rest him and play Ladarius Green, but that would make life too easy for fantasy owners. With the Seahawks in town, make the decision that McCoy won't. Start Marcus Wheaton. With 6 catches for 97 yards in week 1, he's looking like the next wide receiver to take a huge leap in his 2nd year as a pro. And with 7 targets, he actually got more looks than Antonio Brown in week 1. Add in a thin Baltimore secondary zeroed in on Brown, Wheaton's poised for another good week. And now here's Roddy White making his case via Skype on Xbox.
Hey, this is Roddy White, wide receiver, Atlanta Falcons, and you should start me week 2 because rookie cornerbacks can't cover me. And whoever else the Bengals got. So I should be A1 plus start number 1 wide receiver, week 2 versus the Bengals, because we're going to get off. That's what we do over here in Hot Atlanta.
I agree with Roddy. At this early stage in the season, he's an obvious start at wide receiver 2 unless you have a really deep and talented core of wideouts. And handsome viewer Alec Blue agrees with us. He tweeted, "I'm starting Roddy this week for sure against Cincy. He gets a lot of targets leading to catches. Hashtag start Roddy." And I agree, Alec. Most catches are the result of targets. Now, with a dissenting opinion, at ArminHammer31 tweeted, "I wouldn't start my old Aunt Bertha against the Bengals, nor will I start Roddy White." Woo-hoo-hoo! And that's saying a lot because Aunt Bertha is a fantasy beast. They don't call her Bertha the Burner for nothing. Next week, we'll have Julius Thomas on the show making his case for starting against the Seahawks. Sound off with your opinion with the hashtag NFL on Xbox. How'd I do in week 1? Not too shabby. I promised a big game for Jeremy Maclin, check. And I told you to sit Torrey Smith and MJD. And I think I'm entitled to brag a little bit about recommending Mark Ingram. 18 points from your flex position? You're welcome. Now, I did say to sit Reggie Wayne, who looked good with 98 yards, but he didn't get in the end zone, so at least it wasn't a total bust. My only big whiff, I said to wait and see on Kelvin Benjamin because I didn't think he could get separation against a corner like Alteron Werner. Turns out, Benjamin doesn't need separation. He just catches balls through people. Not the recommended technique, but works for him. My bad. Buy low on RASHAD Jennings and sell high on CJ Spiller. With the Giants offense in a Chinatown dumpster, there may be a fire sale on all Giants. If so, grab Jennings. He's sure-handed and looks like the only part of the passing game that Eli Manning's comfortable with. Plus, he stayed in the game in goal line scenarios. He's going to continue to produce. As for Spiller, well, we've been through this before. We've been through this every year since the dawn of time when Fred Jackson first emerged from the primordial ooze to vulture a touchdown from a Spillersaurus. The Bills' twosome will only ever be a headache, and all you can do is flip them when they have value. Buy low on Keenan Allen and sell high on Steve Smith. Allen had a disappointing 37 yards while getting hounded by Patrick Peterson, and in Week 2 he gets another headache when the Legion of Boom comes to town. With Malcolm Floyd scoring a TD in Week 1, some owners may be looking to sell on Allen. If so, go for it. Allen's 9 targets against Arizona were second only to Antonio Gates, who's already nursing an injury, and it won't be long before Floyd is too. Allen will still improve on his rookie year. As for Smith, he had a huge Week 1, but his 15 targets only produced 7 catches, and his value came mostly down to 1 long touchdown that should have been stopped 10 yards before the end zone. Joe Flacco's not going to throw it 62 times a week. Smith's production's going to go down. Hire Jake Locker and fire Eli Manning. Remember how Phillip Rivers suddenly became good again last year under Mike McCoy and Ken Wisenhunt? Well, Wisenhunt's now in Tennessee working magic with Locker and 2 very talented young receivers in Kendall Wright and Justin Hunter. Eli Manning has thrown 15 touchdowns to 26 interceptions in his last 16 games. The only possible reason he's still on a fantasy team is if you're a Giants fan holding on too tight to the Super Bowl wins. Hire Chris Ivory and fire Steven Jackson. Ivory runs angry, and he's going to continue to get touches as the workhorse in the Jets' offense. Steven Jackson is brittle and running behind a depleted O-line. Don't get me wrong, he deserves a Lifetime Achievement Award for wasting the prime of his career in St. Louis, but that doesn't help my fantasy team now. That's it for Week 2 of Keepers. Good luck out there, folks. Set your lineups. See you next week. Hey, thanks for watching this SB Nation video. If you liked it, do us a solid and click that thumbs up button. And for more from SB Nation, subscribe to our channel. And while you're at it, how about watching one of these videos over here? Come on, what else are you doing today? Click it. Go.